Hello everyone and welcome to another devlog video for Tranquil Waters, the casual exploring game made with Unreal Engine 5. In today's video I will be developing the ship controls and the ability to steer the ship. So the first thing I have to do is, of course, to get a ship. And I actually found this amazing pack online that comes with a lot of high quality, low poly meshes which fits very closely to what I need. So I went ahead and purchased the pack and imported it into Unreal Engine. As you can see, there are a lot of different items and even characters that we can use right out of the box. Sadly, I can't show you everything, but the most important is of course the ship, which was mainly the reason for getting the pack. So now that we have the ship, let's actually work on the physics. We need the ship to interact with our water system. To do that, we need the buoyancy component on our ship, and we also need to set up something called pontoons. These are balance points so that Unreal Engine knows how to balance the ship in the water. Now, getting these balance points to work correctly actually took way longer than expected. At some point I even had to do my own research and not just guess myself to the result. But in the end I somehow managed to get the ship to not sink, although it could still use some improvements. Another problem that immediately followed was that my character was too fat and it immediately sank the ship as soon as I got on it. The way I solved it, it was just to turn off the physics interaction on the player. I probably broke something else when I turned it off, but that would be a problem for later on. Well, you know how in real life you typically need a wheel to steer a ship? Well, not in my game. In my game you can just go to this corner on the ship and it immediately drives. Hell yeah. So that means that ship controls are finished. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and bye. Nah, I'm just kidding. This, I actually don't know how this is even happening. This is a bug which will hopefully be resolved at a later date. Anyways, talking about ship controls, let's actually get started with programming. So one great thing that we can do is pretty much copy most of our code from a player character script, since most of the logic stays the same. Now, when we collide with the wheel of the ship, we can simply change the controller position to the ship. This means the input from our keyboard will now go to the ship class and not the player class. So let's see what this does, and oh yeah, this doesn't seem to look good. So the problem that we are facing right now is that the ship is actually correctly getting the input, but the player is just hovering. So the player character is not a part of the ship. And this was solved by one line of code, and I also went ahead and changed some of the input. For example, A and D won't move the ship left and right, but it would actually rotate it left or right. And as you can see, we do have some very basic ship controls. One fast thing that I implemented was actually making the wheel rotate, and as I mentioned previously, the balancing points still need some work. Anyways, let's quickly also fix up the camera, because right now we're using the camera that is attached to the player. This is why we get this weird effect sometimes when we collide with the wheel at a weird angle. So quickly add a camera to the ship, done. Copy some generator code that I do not understand, done. And there we go. That was easy. So now, no matter what angle the player collides at the wheel, we will always switch to the ship's camera. Now we need to be able to rotate the camera with our mouse so that we can look around. And this can also pretty much be copied from our player class. All we need to do is take the input from our mouse and rotate the camera accordingly. We have one function to turn the camera and another to look up and down. And as you can see, we can now fully control the camera rotation with our mouse. this was all I wanted to show you today. Thank you so much to everyone who watched until the end. In our next video I would love to improve more on the ship's control, so don't forget to subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.